Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Soma Holistic Wellness. This is Allison, and today I'm bringing to you day number 4 of our 21 days to healthier habits. So today's topic was all about travel. So you can use these tips when you go on a plane or even in your car, if you're camping, going on vacation, maybe even going on a cruise. So a lot of these tips can be played with or tweaked depending on what oils you like to use if you do your research and you practice. But I'll share with you just a little bit about my favorite tips, my favorite oils, what I think works best for me. I do a lot of traveling for teaching and for work over the summer. I like to use my doTERRA car diffuser when I'm driving to work or if I'm going on a long road trip. It helps to keep me awake at night if I'm driving late at night. I know a lot of people tend to get road rage. I don't have road rage, but I tend to get anxiety while I'm driving. Sometimes it depends on if I'm driving through a city or a place that I'm not used to. But I know a lot of people might have the occasional road rage, so car diffusers definitely help out with that. doTERRA makes one, but it's like a limited time special when I got mine, so keep an eye out for when they start to do that again. But there's a couple of companies out there that make diffusers for the car that plug into the little USB, and you can put your own oils in it. It also can help if you get motion sickness. So if you get motion sickness in the car, or if you don't bring a diffuser on the boat, but you use the same oil that could help you with motion sickness. I know that ginger is really helpful for nausea and motion sickness. Same with peppermint. You can bring those with you. And like I mentioned in day 1 when we talked about our diffusing on the go, you can use cotton balls or tissues, keep them in your purse, or even in the car. If you stuff them into the little vents in the car and turn the heat on, especially, it'll diffuse it into the car without having to spend the extra money on something to diffuse. It's a low budget way. You can make your own little travel kits to bring with you on vacation or on the plane. I like to use small mini sample bottles to use as like a travel size amount of oil, just so that I'm not bringing all of my oils with me and all the big bottles. They might get broken or they might get taken, especially if you're going through TSA. If you have over a certain amount, you have to look up the guidelines. I don't remember them always off the top of my head, but I know you're allowed a certain amount in your carry-on, but you don't want to bring them in your luggage, or you don't want to bring too much of them because they could potentially be taken. And I know the rules vary depending on what you're bringing in, like your main luggage. So definitely look into that. But also for like self-care products, I like to bring sample sizes from doTERRA. So sample size toothpaste, shampoo, conditioner. They make dental floss now, which works really well for me. And I'll bring like the mouthwash in a small bottle because I've gotten that taken before, which was a bummer. Um, and then you can get like a little travel case for it. They make cases that specifically hold sample bottles or that you can fit all of these little things into, and they're zip up on a keychain, which is really convenient to have. Or you can, again, make your own little pouch if you're creative. So I like to keep in mind when I'm on a plane the factors of jet lag, digestion issues that happen. People might tend to get anxiety. Again, if we come into the concept of Ayurveda, these are all vata deranging activities, right? Because vata is made of ether and air, and some of its qualities are that it's dry, rough, mobile or windy, hard. So all of these qualities can happen in our bodies if there's an increase of vata. So tend to, especially because you're on a plane, you're in air and space and you're moving at a really fast speed. So that's totally vata. Same thing happens if you're lacking sleep and you have to get on a flight early, or you've flown to a different time zone. It can get a little wonky, and so your digestion can tend to dry out. You can tend to get anxious because anxiety again is a vata emotion, um, and all things like that. All kinds of havoc can be wreaked on the body. So I keep in mind jet lag, digestion, anxiety, any aches and pains from sitting. Vata lives in the low back, so when you're sitting for such a long period of time, you can get a lot of vata aggravation and low back pain. I think of my immune system. because you're traveling with all different kinds of humans, little kids, you don't know who's sick, so you want to keep that in mind. Maybe bring some oils that can support your immune system, like On Guard, which is a blend that has wild orange and a lot of really good immune boosting oils, Melaleuca. Yeah, keep that in mind. I think about my energy because since I might have jet lag or I might be really tired from lacking sleep, I just try to keep all that in mind so that I can boost my energy and optimize it as much as I can, especially if I'm traveling from the airport right to like a music festival where it's very chaotic and vata deranging. It's very loud. There's a lot of different sensory inputs coming in, and it can be disorienting if you're traveling from a flight, which is also chaotic and loud and busy. So oils tend to be very, very grounding for me for that, and they help to boost my energy in a way where I'm not just running on hopes and dreams. I'm actually full of energy. So some of my favorite oils to use for that would be black pepper, peppermint, tea tree or melaleuca, lemon, because lemon's the oil of focus, frankincense, rose. Rose cools you down and helps you to deal with the stress, maybe a bit of the frustration from with working with other people or being surrounded by other people, and bergamot and lavender. Those are some of my favorites. I also love to have breathe oil because when you're at a music festival, it tends to get very dusty and your sinuses can become clogged with dirt and all kinds of funks. So I like to always keep breathe oil with me. I like to have the On Guard sanitizing mist for if you have to use porta potties or if you don't have access to a good bathroom or you're just around a lot of different bodies all day. Melaleuca is good for that as well. I like to have TerraShield, which is On Guard's bug spray blend, just to use in the woods at night or if there's a lot of bugs in the region that I'm in. Also, I like to use peppermint oil for my tent. You can put it on little tissues and kind of line your tent with it because ants hate peppermint. And a fun fact is that since ants are all connected in their little network, once one of them realizes that peppermint is in the area, they kind of all get the signal and they won't come back to your tent. So that's always good. And lavender is really good for burns. So if you get sunburns or heat kind of waves, you can spray lavender mist on yourself or just put it right on your sunburn and it'll soothe, calm the skin, make you feel a lot better. So yeah, some Ayurveda tidbits too about flying and traveling. You want to drink a lot of water since vata dries you out. You want to avoid caffeine because caffeine will again increase that vata. And then when you land, soak up some sunlight because the sun helps to ground us and to give us more energy. Avoid dry raw foods and stick with more warm cooked foods, especially once you land. Again, dryness, dry foods, light foods, things that are rough, going to increase those qualities of vata. And in Ayurveda, like increases like and opposites balance. So we want to bring balance to all the vata deranging. Those are some of my favorite tips I wanted to share with you about traveling, what works for me, what I like to do. If you want any more information and you want to see how I prepare some of these things, keep watch of my channel, subscribe, leave me a comment, hit me up through my email. All the info you'll need for that is in the description box. So keep watching, keep up with me for the next 21 days, and I will see you guys tomorrow.